because we are not doing anything too hectic until Sunday, right? We're not doing anything too hectic until Sunday. Tonight we're just going to go over the basics of we're going to go over the basics of basically what we did in the last class, and then we're going to go over the basics of component variance. Yes. Okay. So I'm just trying to find out what I sent last. Today we digest neomorphism. Recap. So what is neomorphism? I said that, and I hope you can hear me very well. I said that neomorphism is a design style. You can define it as a design style, you know, that deals with depth and distance. All right, depth and distance. And then we made some examples where I showed you how easy it was to get neomorphic elements. Yes, it was actually pretty easy. And since this is just a recap, I'm just going to do it quickly one more time. So I'm going to select the color from here. Forgive my intonation, I just came back from South Africa. I'm going to be selecting, let's say, something around this color here. Or you know what, let me go for something purplish. Yeah, something like let me go for something like this. Yes. Then I'm going to be drawing a circle here. I'm going to make it smaller a bit. This is just a recap on neomorphism. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to align it to the center. Then I told you it's best to pick the same color for the shape as the background. So we get this. And then just add an effect. You see, it's already there. The thing is that once the shape has the same color with the background, it's easy to just make it neomorphic. All you need to do is apply shadow. So when we came into the first shadow, I think we used X to 8 and Y to 8 as well, and then we did blur to 16, and it works just fine here. And then let's say let's even give this guy a 25. It doesn't look so bad. That is the transparency of the shadow. Now we need to add another one for light, because in the land of myth and the time of magic, the destiny of this neomorphic element is depending seriously on the amount of light and darkness that it can contain. So we're just going to come over here and use the plus sign. This is the second drop shadow we added. So come back here. Now we're going to go negative, right? So we're going to go -8. So we get this guy over there. The block can still be 16, but this time we're going to go for a lighter color, something like this, right? This is what we did in the last class. So even if we go for pure white, so let's blend it like this. We might increase the blur a bit. Remember, I told you that there's no one way to doing it. I do it until I'm comfortable with what I'm seeing. So and this looks. Let me reduce the image. I mean, just the shape of it. Okay, okay. Yeah, that looks. This looks. It looks. I understand. So let me see. I think the white is a bit too much. It might be my eye, but let me reduce the transparency of the white a bit. Okay, so let me add stroke to both elements. Probably just make the stroke white. Let me see what it's going to look like. Put it outside, and then give the stroke 0.5 thickness, and then it's going to look just like that. Let me see. Okay, okay. So this is basically what we did in the last class. Just that we did another type of neomorphism as well, where it was not drop shadow, it was more of inner shadow. You remember now, it was inner shadow to get this depth. You know. So that was basically what we did before you were given the assignment. So this is just neomorphism in display. It is shadow and light, shadow and light. Okay, so I don't want to dwell too much on that. So I'm just going to take it all the way to the left here. And let me think. I'm trying to remember. Let me. I just want to make sure that there is nothing that. Um, I just want to make sure that there is nothing I'm missing. I saw your question, if I, Mr. Ifine. I don't think we're going to have a recap of class from day one, but if we are, it's probably going to be on day 15. It's probably going to be on day 15. But I just want to confirm if there's something I'm missing on this neuomorphism. I think this is everything. Yes. One more thing. Yes, one more thing. I wanted to show you guys one thing. I don't know if I've showed you um, before. Someone is saying I should explain this again. Mm. Mhm. Are you sure? Are you sure I should do this again? Because this is actually very simple. This is actually very simple. But maybe yes, yes, I could just do it again just to ensure that there is no confusions, if you know what I mean. So just to ensure that there's no confusions, I'm just going to do it again. So give me one moment. I'm trying to do something here. 60, 42, 37. And they come on. I'm pressing my phone, trying to send something. 1 second, just 1 second. 2 seconds. So don't be impatient. Don't be impatient. Okay. So sorry, let me just proceed now. This neomorphism is too simple. I don't want to explain it again, but just know it's just the work of two shadows and giving the color the same color you use for your background on the shape that you're going to use in the neomorphism itself. So that's basically what you have for neomorphism. It's not a big deal at all. I would like to proceed to greater things. So the next thing that I wrote on WhatsApp was that we're going to recap. Okay, yes, glassmorphism this time. Glassmorphism, yeah, very crucial, very important. Let me just make these guys look important. I just want to apply it in a way that I just know it's somewhere around there. So glassmorphism is what exactly? Glassmorphism is a design style where you basically create elements that look like glass. They have a glassy feeling. Somebody said glassy. You know, they have there's a glassy feeling that is attached to them. All right. So when the design is being viewed, it is firstly seen as though it is glass. You know what glass looks like. So I'm just going to go with you to Google and search for glassmorphism UI. The reason I'm doing this is I just want you to see some examples before we do it ourselves. And it's also very simple. We're not going to spend more than 5 minutes doing this. So this is glass morphism design style. Okay. What do you notice? You notice that all of them have a glassy feel, a glassy visual rather. So they mostly look like actual glass. You understand? So I'm just trying to wait for this one to load so that you can see it in full. Good. So you can see it. You see, notice one thing here first of all. Let's start from here. You see that there's a shape here, but that shape when it's behind the glass, you see that it is blurry over here. That is the effect of the glass. That is the effect of the glass. So glass is not very transparent. You can see through it, but on the other end, it would usually bring a. It would usually not be. It will not give you a perfect vision almost immediately. You understand? So this is what we intend to create tonight in the next three to maybe 3, 5, or maximum 10 minutes if I have to explain it. Um, more than once. You understand? And then we're going to be using a very simple example. I love to use this example, something like an ATM card, sort of. So it's not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all. So let's jump right into it. I like to encourage you and tell you it's not difficult because actually it is not. So I'm going to create a frame here, and this frame is just going to act as my background. Then I'm going to draw a rectangle here. I'm trying to draw a rectangle that seems like an ATM card. So corner radius of, let's say, 48. A lot of digits. Still too much. It looks like the rectangle is actually pretty small. So let's do 12. Let me make it something like this. Just going to increase this a bit later here. Yeah, see this fine. This is what I'm going to do next, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to come over to color here. Alright. Wait, I'm trying to remember something. I want to make this background dark, yes, so that I can see my glass properly. So I'm going to come over here, click on solid. I want to make this a linear. That's step number one. So I want to make it linear. This is already looking like glass. Like I said, it is simple. Look at this and look at this, for example. Look at what I was designing and look at what I'm about to show you here. You see, it's so we're almost there. It's not difficult at all. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is adjust the glass, because like just similar to neomorphism design style, there is need for application of light and darkness. So we just want to make sure that there's a portion of the elements that is brighter than the other side. So this one here is this one, and this one here, if I click on it, you see this one will turn blue. You can see that this one is selected here. So this is this here, and this is this here. For those, I know that some people have asked me sometimes, like, how do you make use linear? This is how you use linear, right? And just come here, increase this white a bit to pure white. It's at pure white now, so basically it's shining. It's like shine bubble. You understand? It's at the absolute pure white. Then the next thing I want to do is come to this other one here, and I can take this one too to pure white, but this is still at 0%. So you see, it's not going to give you that pure white. So I don't even want you to get to that pure white. So somewhere around 30% is okay. Alright, even 37 might even be too much. You can just like 20. If we are going to do 30, I'm going to have to drag this guy a bit down, somewhere around here. So this is what this is. So what's the next thing you want to do? You see, it's already looking like a glass, but let me show you something. I'm going to draw a circle and probably give it, let's say, a very nice purple color like this one here. Okay. Now I'm going to try to move this circle behind this guy. I can just do that by taking it send to back, or using this. Remember, we did this in day one when we talked about this shortcut for taking elements under each other or on top of each other. I don't know if you can recall, but I hope you do. So basically, that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm taking it to the back. So look at it now. I've taken it to the back. But what do you see? You see that, yes, the glass is evident. The glass is physical. Um, what am I trying to say? It's present. You can see it there, but it is not yet at the same level as the example that we are trying to somewhat emulate, right? So I just want to keep this one here so that we can just, instead of swapping these different tabs, you can just, so look at it. So you see that this here is blurry compared to what we have here. So how do you get this guy to actually be blurry? It's simple. Come over here to effects, click on it. You're not using drop shadow. This is non neomorphism. What you're looking for is called the back the background what blur. Now the background blur is, and I hope you know that I hope you are aware that this is going to add to your assignment, because you also have the neomorphism that you get to submit. I want to rectify that. and make sure that that's why I did this again so that everyone can actually work on it as your assignment. So you're also going to do this. So come here, drop shadow, you don't need this, you're not doing your office. Go for background blur. When you click on background blur, you see, you notice that somehow, it is beginning to, it has begun, it has, you know what I'm trying to say. So it has started having an effect here, but it's not yet there for us. So we'll come over here to settings for this particular effect of background blur. And then instead of 4, we can just do like 40. Now notice that having done 40, we can almost not see the circle anymore. So 40 is obviously too much. So we can do 20 and see what we have. So 20 is there, but it's still too much. Let's do 10. So 10 is there and it's nice, but let's do 7. Let's see. Like I always tell you, for me, I do when it comes to glassmorphism, neomorphism, it is up to you to decide when it's best. It's based on what you're trying to achieve. And for us, it's something like this. So this looks more like this for us. Let me just change the background color. Maybe we'll have something really similar by the time I change the background color. You know, yep. So just trying to change that background color. So you see, you get it now. So that is it. So now any shape at all, I'm going to come here and look for, let's say, star. Then I'm going to draw a star holding shift. It's a perfect star. I'm going to take it behind the shape. I'm going to paint it a very, very obvious color. And then you can see it behind the rectangle. You can see that it is blurry now because of the background blur effects that we just created. So the next thing you want to do is this. Click on the image again. You're not done, no. You need to apply a stroke because you want to do something nice, right? You're not doing half done something. So apply a stroke and let the stroke be white. Now some people still give the stroke the same glassy touch, and it still makes sense. I mean, you can do the same thing, and it's still going to make sense. That glassy touch, all right. But sometimes I just prefer to use the actual, stroke pure white. Feel like it's also it's decent as well. 0.5 for the thickness, so it's not too obvious. Now, the next thing you want to do, and you have to pay attention to this part. Like I said, glassmorphism is just beans, it's not deeper at all. So come over here. We are going to install a plugin called Noise. Now, I particularly like to use Noise because there's something it does to the design, and I will show you in about 2 minutes. The name of the plugin is Noise. Now I have it on my Figma already, so I'm not going to be surprised if it's there. So that is the noise there. So I'm going to run it because mostly I think most of you are going to just run it. You can save it as well. So I just ran noise now. Going to wait for it to actually load properly. So just wait for the plugin. It's going to come up. So this is the noise plugin. So the next thing I want to do is just um, this is width and this is height, right? So what is the width and height of my card? It is 183 by 109. You see, noise has automatically detected it, but you don't want to put this in here immediately. What you want to do is click outside the usual. So then you just click the plus here. Please, when you click the plus here, you're going to get something strange that looks like what our village people used to use and fly in the night or something like that. So but never, don't fear, don't fret. I did your back. We get that. Now this here is your card. What's the corner radius we use? 12. Just make sure you apply 12 to the corner radius as well for the noise because the noise is also subjective to the normal color, corner radius, and the sizes, etc. Right? So just carry it as a gentle boy and a loving lady that you are. Place it on top of your rectangle. And all you want to do next is just come over here to where you have image and just put it like 10%. When you do that, this is what you have. See, this is what you have. You basically have the noise plugin actually working as something that is making your glass look more like a glass. Now, this is not what they did here, obviously. You see that they didn't use noise here, but I'm just taking you a bit advanced if you want to create a really glassy effect. Even a 10% might be too much, but let me try three. I think this three is okay. It looks, you see, it looks like glass. It looks like actual glass, actual glass, and that's cool. And then one of the next things that you're going to see on a card, on an ATM card, is probably going to be your name. So I'm just going to have mine here. It's going to be something like your name. I'm going to have my name too long, but God knows what's best. So that's one of the things you see on the card. But then again, you want to make sure that the noise plugin, yeah, I can go through the glass again, no problem. Fine, if frankly, right? So noise plugin, ready colors. Okay, so I'm just going to come here, but this color is looking too heavy for my glass. So I'm probably going to just come here. Like I always tell you, you need to make sure that whatever you're doing, it's what is best based on what you see. You must explore your creativity to a certain extent. So I think this color looks much better for the glass. I might just reduce the opacity here generally to make it something like this. Sorry, trying to get to the text so that I can take it up and do something like I want to do something like this noise plugin is distracting me. Voila. Let me just come here and hide it first. So I'm just gonna hide it. So when I finish, I'm just going to come here and open it. So I hit it with this toggle here because it's actually distracting. So what I'm gonna go here and do is 0057. It's not my ATM card or something. 2789. Don't have blah 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 blah. Don't have blah 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 blah. I'm basically doing your assignment for you so that when you start it, you know that this is what you're doing. So this is usually going to be extra gold, something like that. Now this might take a slightly darker color than this one here. So just have something like that. There's some other information that the card will have, maybe a logo here for MasterCard, whichever one, but just make sure it's glass. Just make sure it's glass. So that's my aim and objective for this. So I'm just going to toggle on the guide again, and then there you go. They have it. So that's it there. Alright. This guy should be in the bucket of this guy. Yeah, it should be in the buckets. This guy. It's actually on top, so I can't edit some of these guys unless I take this guy under and then I can get access to these guys. I'm just giving you small things that might come up when you're designing. It's nothing much at all. So glass. So I'm just going to do it again one more time, and this time I'm going to be using a smaller rectangle here. Right? So what did I do? Size from the corner radius. Next thing I did was I clicked on fill, changed the solid to linear, and then the next thing I did was applied, gave a reasonable portion of the glass a good white, and the second one I still went to the pure white, but I basically gave it like 30%, something like this. Then I applied stroke, and then the stroke was, for me, it was pure white. The thickness of the stroke was 0.5, it was outside, and then I just brought in the noise plugin and then I added it on top of this, and that is glassmorphism at its best. That's just basically glassmorphism. So, with that being said and done, this is a piece of cake for you. The only thing I know you can't do here is this background, because this background involves a lot of color burning, and we are not doing that today. But I know that you can do this exact glass that you see here. It is this color burning behind this that gives it all these effects. This is just as normal a glass as this. It is just as normal a glass, right? So this is the background that makes it look this exquisite, right? So let's just leave that as it is. Or if you want to do a bit to your background, you can just when you get a shape like this, you can just come over to effects and go to layer block. You can start from there. You see, you can use that to add light. I think we've done this one time. And then if you want to do more, you can come over here to layer. click on pass through, then look for something. There are a lot of options here that make that bring about a lot of effects when it comes to colors. But like I said, I wanted us to take all of this on a different date. So that's why I said just leave it for today. All right, so that is glassmorphism, and we need to move on to the next thing. But let me see if you have any questions. Do you have any questions on glassmorphism? I'm sure that it's a very simple one. I'm sure that glassmorphism is very simple. So I think we can move to the next thing, which is let me check. Component variance. Yes, that's correct. So the next thing, which is component variance. So what exactly is component variance? Let me do something. Let me start like this. A variant is another type of something, right? What is another type of something? Indomie noodles. There are several types of noodles, but we have Indomie, we have I think we have Super Pack, we have Tommy Tommy. I'm mentioning my best in noodles, right? So I think I prefer Tommy Tommy mostly. I think I like Tommy Tommy. I don't know if it's about the vegetable that there's something is put inside. But I don't know if that Indomie, I don't know if that Indomie is the trend anyways. I mean that noodles. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that they are all variants. For those of you here that drink, maybe you're the kind of person you drink all those you drink beer, for example, there are several types of beer, right? There's three chew, there's Henneken, there's Timothy, there is Peter and James, John and Paul, etc., etc. So those are variants. So variants is like okay, we are trying to create one thing and then have multiple of that particular one thing for several purposes, right? And I'll show you in a moment. You can see my screen very clearly. Now imagine I come over here. If I go look at the mouse, look at my mouse, for example. I come over here and I hover on local stars. What do you see when I hover on local stars? You see that it's turning white. It's turning white. That transition into white is a variant of what it is originally. It's like another instance. Alright. So variant is just as simple as that. So look at prototype, look at inspect, prototype, inspect. See, initially they are just like ash color, but when I hover over them, when I hover on them, you see that they basically go white. So that is variant. Look at this neomorphism here. When I hover on it, you see that this blue line comes on board. That is variant. You understand? Now let's go into application of this particular variant. I'm going to delete this image because we are not making use of it anymore. Plasmorphism has been properly understood. Likewise, neomorphism. Let me do one thing for you guys. I wanted to leave this for when maybe we'll go for a practical where we are talking about something like graph. But let me show you something. All those graphs where you talk about pie chart. It's very simple to do. All you have to do is just come over here. When you have a circle, look for this point here called arc, and then just click on it, hold it, and drag, and that's it. So that's how you choose how much space you want it to contain. And then when you don't drag in this place, you just come to the center here, and then you can do something like this. Alright, you can do something like this. So everything is just simple. It depends on when you want to use it. And for now, I don't think you have any need for something like this. But it's just good that you catch it. It's good that you know what it is. So quickly, let us move to component variants. So I think I just explained what variants are, but let's look for it in practical. I'm going to start by creating a button. Let's write the text for button. Let me zoom into it. So how many? So okay, I'm just going to make it 16. A big button actually. I'm going to say this is button is fine. Okay. So I want to use auto layout here. So shift A. Then I'm going to give this button a fill. But this time I'm going to go for blue. And then I'm going to give corner radius. You know all of this already. 12. So size, I'm going to give the left and right, let's say 35. Up and down, I'll just give like 12 or 15. Alright, I think 12 looked much better. This is a button. Now, how many of you know that on a desktop screen, like on a laptop screen, for example, and I think maybe I should just take it to an actual website. Let me go to MSport. Let me go to M Sport. Right? Yes. I think I like this M Sport because it has a very neat user interface. But it's going to make a lot of sense for the example that I'm trying to make, I believe. Right. So this is M Sports. Let's wait for it to finish loading. Okay. So it has finished loading, I believe. Okay, yeah. Watch this. Watch this. Look at my mouse. Always follow my mouse. Look at these guys here. When I hover on them, what do you see? They turn yellow. Yellow, right? I'm looking for a button. I'm looking for a button with an obvious interaction. Okay, look at these guys here. These odds. These are where you come and say, oh, these people are going to win this. People. Well, I didn't come into the chat to bet. But let's say we say these people are going to win this. People. When I click on this, what happens? You see, it takes a yellow background and the text turns, let's say, ash, right? When I click on it, the background is now ash and the text is now yellow. So what it is now and what it becomes are alternating each other, right? They're alternating each other. So if I click on this one, same thing. If I click on this one, same thing. If I click on this one, same thing. But how is it that, because trust me, you can design this page, but how do you do something like this where it's when you click on it, it turns to this? And that is what we are looking at today in component variants. Okay, that is what we are basically looking at. So I'm going to explain it one more time. This is M Sports, right? Look at all of these guys. You see that this is ash background. Very good. I just saw another thing now. Ash background, yellow text. When I hover on it, black background, yellow text. When I click on it, yellow background, black text. So I'm going to come over to our figure. I'm going to write it down. So here I'm going to start with um, I'm going to start with, what do I call that? Let me say default. I'm going to say ash background. I'll call it ash B. I'll say yellow T, which is for yellow text. Then I'll say hover. Then hover we're gonna have hover is what? Hover was black background and yellow T. Then we have active, which now became yellow B and then black. Say black T, right? So this is what we're making use of. So just to confirm, I'm going to come over here and share um, so that we can just confirm it, right? Okay, so look at this. Let me scroll down a bit. So you see the actual color. This is what I'm calling default. You can see the actual color when I'm not hovering on any of them. Now when I hover on this one, you see this is what I'm calling the hover, and then when I click on it, this is what I'm calling the active. Right. So we're going to use that basically. Yeah. Let's use this ones. Okay. So let's use this ones. So hold on. Give me 30 seconds. I need to confirm something. I need to confirm something. Just give me 30 seconds. So I'm back. All right. So default is ash background. So let's create the default. Okay? So we'll come over here, and I think we should start with let's have the, the rectangle here for background, something that we can see through. So let's start. So basically, the default one is I'm going to write something like 10.0 here, so 10.9. So it was ash background. So I'm just going to come over here for ash, and then yellow text, right? So we'll come over here and look for like yellow, right? Something like this. It's not exact, but you get where I'm trying to go. And then the next one was when you hover on it, this guy turned from here to pure black, sort of. And then the next one was this guy actually becoming yellow, and then the text, going black is what we had. So let me confirm. Yeah, so basically that's what we have there. So now how do you make it such that on your design, right? How do you make it such that on your design you can have these three interactions? That is component variant. So the reason why I'm taking out time to explain it is so that even if I'm going to go through it the second time, I will rush through it and not go through it small small. You understand? Okay. So I'm going to create a frame. Um, I'm going to create a frame for iPad, and then I'm going to take one, two, three, and put them in this frame. And then I'm going to basically tell this frame, I'm going to prototype it. I just want to play the frame. So while it's loading, I'll just continue. I want to see if when I click on this, it will come to this. When I click on this, it will come to this. Because it's not going to. It's basically not going to. But I want to test it first with you guys so that you can see, okay, obviously it's not going to. And then we're going to make it actually work. Okay. So basically that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the prototype to actually display. Okay. So while it's running, I'm just going to I'll just duplicate these guys, work with them separately, right? So let's work with them here. To create variants, the first thing you want to do is come up here, click this drop down arrow you see here, and click on create multiple components. What did I say? Select the three of them, come up here, this drop down arrow, click on it, and then click on create multiple components. That is step number one. Then step number two, after you have clicked on the multiple components, okay, this tab has loaded. So look at this is the tablet that I'm prototyping. You can see that I'm hovering, nothing is happening. You can see nothing is happening. So that's actually what I'm trying to show you first. So now we're going to make something happen. Okay, so with the three of these guys selected, these three selected, come over here, click this arrow, click on create multiple component set. When you click on this, on the right here, something is going to come up. It's called combine as variants. So when I click on this, it comes up combine as variants. So I'm going to click on it. Boom. Now I have something like this. I'm going to come here and double click on this, and I'm going to name it button. I hope you got that. I will do it a second time. I'm doing now. Good. Select your three stuff or buttons. Come up here. Click on create multiple components. When you click on that, click on combine as variants. When you click on that, you have this. Then you just rename the variants button. See this purple line? I'm sure you've not seen it in our previous classes. Yes. Also, you see that now we're having something purplish in our layer. It has always been white, but now there is somebody here that is now coloring purple. Now, cool. If you can see what is written down here, they are telling me that I have three variants. Three variants. So now what do I do in these variants? Remember that this one is the default. I will click on it. When I click on it, look at the right. It's telling me something here. Current variant. Property 1, frame 3. When I click on the second one, it's going to say current variant, property 1, frame 4. And this one, frame 5. It is naming it by itself, but now I want to name it myself. So this one is supposed to be active. So I'll call this one active. And this one is supposed to be what? Over. So I'll call it over. See, that's the only thing I'm changing. And then this one is supposed to be default. So I'll call it default. So when I click on it again, see active, you see hover, and you see default. Good. Now, this guy that you just did, you are not using this on your frame. No. What you want to do is, what you want to do is, you want to, hmm, Google is warning us that we have 10 minutes more. Okay, fine. So, I think we can even round up before then. What you want to do is this. You want to come over here, instead of layers, you want to click on assets because you can only access your components from assets. Click on assets. Don't take any of these guys to your screen. Click on assets, search for button. That's what I named this guy with. You will see it there. Take that button, drag it to your screen. Have you done that? No, you have not because you are listening to me. When you do that, watch this. There's something you have here that is entirely new. Yes, this is components. When I click on this default, remember this one is default. When I click on default, you can see hover and active are there. When I click on active, this guy will turn to active. Watch. Bam, it turns to active. Hover, bam, it turns to hover. That is it. Now, let me go back to the prototype page. Of course, nothing is happening because I've not made any prototype. Good. I will go back to our design now. What I want to do is this. In the components, I will come to prototype. I will come to this one. You see this circle, these dots. Drag it to this one and say, not on click. Click on this and say while hovering. While what? Hovering. Click on it. You are done. Then the next thing you want to do is click on this one again. Drag another one to this one. And this time, on click, change to that's all. You are done. That is all. Just change to that's all. Now watch this. If I take you back to where we have you can see that nothing is happening. Why? Why is nothing happening? I will tell you why. Follow me. I'm going back to the tablets. This is why. Because this guy is not our default. It's in hover. But if I take this hover and take it back to default, now I will take you back to the prototype. You will see that when I hover on this guy, see that something is happening there. It's not very visible. When I hover on it, you see something is happening there. See that something is happening there. You see that. That is what we just did from here. If, for example, I take that hover, let me say, hold on. If I come here, I take this hover straight up to this one so that it will be more visible for you. I make it while hovering and I come back to the prototype page. Oh, wait, you didn't see me do this other thing. Hold on. What I did was I basically removed this guy, delete, and it was on this one before, but I pushed it to this one and I made it while hovering. That's what I did. So if I come back here, now watch this. That is components and variants. You see that? That is the basic of components and variants. I don't want to do more than this in one in one class because of the complexity of it, so that you don't have a lot to think about. Ask me your questions. Do you have any questions at all? Component variants, most especially, because it is the one thing that I know that it's a bit complicated. Do you have any questions on what I just explained with component variants? Remember how to do them. Step one, create the buttons, right? Step two, select all of them. Step three, find that guy up, click on the drop down and do what? Create multiple components. Step four, combine as variants. Step five, step five is what? Name them active, default, over. Step six, prototype them. Step seven, use them. Let me tell you, component variance is more complicated than this. This is the basic one. Like this is the actual basic one. Okay, there is more to component variance than this. Do you understand? We are going to do that maybe after the prototyping class. You can take more on it. This is just the introduction to component variance, and I can prove it to you. Let me show you something. If I come over here and click plus, what do you see? Variant, boolean, instant swap, and text. We have only done variant. That's all we did. But there is more. Okay, let me answer some questions. The circular cut I did. Oh, that's actually very simple. It's not even something that you need to know too much about. All I did was you have a circle. Just look for this dot here and drag the center one and drag. That's all I did. I duplicate the circle. Maybe I want to create a pie chart. I can take. I just duplicated it now. There's a red one, but the other one is still there. So that's why you have something like this. Simple. It's not. This is not a big deal at all. We barely use it. Okay. The name of the plugin we used was Noise. Yes, you're right, Ricky Codes. The name of the plugin was Noise. Yes, the name of the plugin was Noise. That's not a plugin that we used. Okay. You're asking me if there's no assignment. Wow. Wow. There is actually. You have an assignment on glassmorphism, which means you're creating something like this. You had an assignment on your morphism, right? The one I sent the picture to the WhatsApp group. You're not going to have an assignment or component variant. Just leave it. Just leave it. All I wanted you to know is this introduction to component variant, so that by the time we start dealing with it more difficultly, you will not be lost. When I'm explaining some few things. So that's component variant. Also, I didn't want the video to be very long, so that a lot of us can just quickly rush, scan through it. All right. So, any more questions, please? Because we're about to round off for day 10. You see this component variant thing, it is difficult until you know it. The moment you know it, this is advanced. You can see UI designers today that don't know component variants. I can tell you with all certainty. Most of them would know. Maybe even there are some UI designers that don't even know how to use auto layouts. They are still working with rectangles. Okay, they are still working with rectangles. All your assignments are to be submitted tomorrow, being Saturday. I will drop the time on the group. All assignments will be submitted tomorrow because I explained your morphism today, glassmorphism today as well, and you're not doing component variants for assignment. So this is pretty simple. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all. It's been an hour already. That is all we are going to do for today. I don't want to go deeper with component variants than I have already. Okay, I don't want to because of I don't want us to carry a lot in our minds, even with all the pending assignments that you've got. All right. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for turning up, and for those that are going to watch the video later. Um, it's good that you do. I really like the fact that you still continue to learn. All right, despite your network issues, etc., etc. So you can all leave now. I will send the link tonight. So that everyone can confirm that it is working fine. Thank you, thank you, thank you.